So this is page 98 from the homework, and number 3 says use a fraction, a decimal percent to describe each shaded area. So shaded area is our hundreds grid, and you can see there that the zoomed in part just represents a fraction of one square, which is a fraction of 1%. So we can see that if we count this is 37 fully shaded squares, so that's 37%. So that's where we get this from. And then we have our fraction, the fraction part, the small shaded area that represents, well, 5 out of 10 or 0.5%. Okay, so that's 0.5 of 1%. And so when we add those together, we're just going to add them together and get 37% plus 0.5% is 37.5%. Since we're adding percent to percent, we don't need to do anything here. As a decimal, 37% we're going to write as 0.37. So we're going to move the decimal point over 2 places and get 0.37. So same thing here, we're going to move the decimal point over 1, 2. That means we have to have an extra 0 in there as a placeholder. So we have 0.005. So there's our 0.005, as 0.5% is 0.005 as a decimal. And we can add those two decimals together, making note of the place value. 0.3 is the first decimal place, 7 is the second decimal place, and then those are both added to zeros, and then 5, we're just doing plus 5 for the third decimal place. For the fraction part of this and for the rest of the assignment, make your fractions out of 100. So 0.37, 37% is 37 out of 100. 0.5%, we're going to make this, those 5 shaded pieces are going to be, if we have to divide all those squares into 10, so we're going to have 10 groups of 100, that is 1,000. So each one of those shaded, these little shaded pieces here, is going to be 1 out of 1,000. So we have 5 out of 1,000. That's why the denominator is 1,000 here. And then we can add these together by getting a common denominator. The common denominator is going to be 1,000. So to get the 1,000 for this fraction, we're going to take 37 out of 100 times top by 10 times bottom by 10, and we get 370 out of 100, of 1,000. Oops, this is for the other fraction, sorry. That should have been 5 out of 1,000. So the times 10, 37 over 100 times 10 becomes 370 over 1,000 plus 5 over 1,000. Notice I'm working vertically. And when we add those together, we get 375 out of 1,000. So this answer here matches this decimal here, which is 0.375. So that's 375 out of 1,000. It matches this percentage, 37.5 out of 100. Because remember, percentage is not out of 1,000, but specifically out of 100. For these ones, again, you want to make the fractions. When you can, try to make the fraction into a decimal or a fraction out of 100, which is essentially a percent.